Headed to E1 optimism, expecting good outcomes.
Optimism, 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 optimism.
Show optimism, maintain optimism, optimism about the future. Optimism, 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 optimism. Unhinted through scheme, a clever plan, scheme. Launch a scheme, secret scheme, pension scheme, scheme. Heading to D3, stagnant, not moving or developing. Stagnant. Water, stagnant economy, remain stagnant. Heading to D4, abolition, ending of a system.
Abolition.
Abolition of slavery, call for abolition. Complete abolition. E2D5, forthcoming, about to happen. Available,
Forthcoming.
forthcoming event, forthcoming support. Be forthcoming with help.
Forthcoming.
In E2D6, sane, mentally sound. Sane. Stay sane, decision completely sane. Sane. Agitating, clumsy, lacking skill or grace. Clumsy hands. Clumsy attempt, clumsy movement. Clumsy. Heading to the 8, hydrogen, a chemical element. Hydrogen gas, hydrogen fuel produce. Hydrogen. Heading to the 9, friction, rubbing or conflict. Friction between parts, cause friction reduce friction. EV2D10, pouch, small flexible container.
Pouch.
Leather pouch, carry in a pouch. Seal the pouch. EV2D when epoch, a significant period in history. Epoch. New epoch, marking epoch, historical epoch. EV2D4, supreme, highest in rank or quality. Supreme port, supreme power, supreme effort, supreme. EV2D tariff, tax on imports or exports. Tariff. High tariff, impose a tariff policy. Tariff. EV2D fart, growl, low threatening sound. Growl. Dog growl in anger, low growl. EV2D fawn, collision, violent contact, collision. Car collision, head-on collision of ideas. Collision. EV2D6, despite, without being affected by. Despite the rain, despite difficulties, despite all odds. Despite EV2D sensing in reptile, cold-blooded vertebrate. Reptile, a reptile zoo, study reptiles. Reptile skin. Reptile. EV2D refinement, improvement or elegance. Refinement. Cultural refinement and technique with great refinement. Praise refinement. EV2D conform, follow rules or norms. Conform to standards, conform behavior, conform with expectations. Conform. Fitting to amend, to change for the better. Amend the Constitution. Amend. 1521, gratify to give pleasure. Gratify.
Gratify a desire, gratify the audience, gratify with praise.
Gratify.
1522, utensil used in a household.
Utensil.
Kitchen utensil, metal utensil, use a utensil. 1522, you colonel, senior army officer.
Colonel.
Army colonel, promoted to panel, colonel in command. 1524, march, wet lowland. March. Cross the marsh, get stuck in a marsh. Home to marsh birds. Marsh. 1524, furnish, provided with furniture.
Furnish.
Fully furnished apartment, furnished room, well furnished. 1520, malice, desire to harm.
Malice.
Act with malice, bear malice, full of malice. 1520s, hidden hatch to come out or create small door.
Hatch.
Hatch a plan, eggs hatch, open the hatch.
Hatch.
I'm hypothesis of propodeslination.
Hypothesis, 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 hypothesis.
Form a hypothesis, test the hypothesis. Scientific hypothesis.
Hypothesis, 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 hypothesis. 1530 scanty, lacking in amount. Scanty, 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 scanty evidence, scanty clothing, scanty information. Scanty, 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 tight, 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 tight.
1531, donate to give for a cause.
Donate, 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 donate.
Donate money, donate blood, donate to charity.
Donate, 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 donate. 1532, coffin, a box for a dead body. Coffin, 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 coffin. Wooden coffin, lower the coffin, close coffin, 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 coffin.
1530 trade, geology, study of structure.
Geology, 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 geology.
Study geology, geology class.
Volcanic geology.
Geology, 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 geology.
1534, ridicule to mock or make fun. Ridicule, 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 ridicule.
Subject to ridicule,
Ridicule the idea, public ridicule. Ridicule, 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 ridicule. 1546 for father and ancestor.
forefather, 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 forefather.
Honor the forefathers, our forefathers' legacy, descendants of forefathers.
Forefather, 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 forefather.
1547 submission, act of yielding or given.
Submission, 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 submission.
Final submission, act of submission, submission deadline.
Submission, 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 submission.
1538 sermon, a religious speech. Sermon, 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 sermon.
Deliver a sermon, Sunday sermon. Listen to a sermon, deliver a sermon. Sermon, 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 sermon.
1530 Mountain beverage, any drinkable liquid.
Beverage, 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 beverage.
Hot beverage,
Serve a beverage, alcoholic beverage. Beverage, 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 beverage.
1540 pebble, small, smooth stone.
Pebble, 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 pebble.
A pebble beach, throw a pebble, collect pebbles.
Pebble, 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 pebble.
Infinity 41, prescribe to officially suggest or order. Prescribe, 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 prescribe medicine, prescribe a treatment, prescribe rules.
Prescribe, 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 prescribe.
Only for to disappearance, actor going out of sight. Disappearance, 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 disappearance. Sudden disappearance, disappearance. Report a disappearance. V43, kernel, central part of seed. Kernel, 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 kernel. Corn kernel, kernel of truth, kernel of an idea.
Kernel, 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 kernel.
5044, reproach to criticize or disapprove.
Reproach, reproach, reproach.
A look of reproach, reproach, someone feel reproach.
Reproach, reproach, reproach.
Oh, 5045, brisk, quick and energetic.
Brisk, brisk, brisk.
Brisk walk, brisk business, brisk reply.
Brisk, brisk, brisk.
5040 strict heed to pay attention.
Heed, 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 heed.
Heed the warning, take heed, heed advice.
Heed, 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 heed.
5047 emission, release of substance emission.
Emission, emission, emission.
Carbon emission, reduce emissions, vehicle emissions.
Emission, emission.
5048 skinny, very thin.
Skinny, 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 skinny.
A skinny boy, too skinny, look skinny.
Skinny, 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 skinny.
5040 Mommy Data, one who helps resolve disputes.
Solve disputes.
Mediator, 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 act as a mediator.
Mediator.
Act as a mediator. Mediator, 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 hater.
Mediator, mediator, mediator.
1550 presumably assumed to be true.
Presumably, 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 presumably.
Presumably true, presumably because of rain, presumably safe. Presumably, 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 presumably. 5041 specimen, sample for study. Specimen, 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 specimen. Blood specimen, specimen collection, perfect specimen.
Specimen, specimen, specimen.
1542 suspension, temporary stop.
Suspension, suspension.
School suspension, suspension of service, engine suspension.
Suspension.
No, 1543 diagnosis, identification.
Diagnosis, diagnosis.
Diagnosis, diagnosis, diagnosis. Medical diagnosis, receive a diagnosis, accurate diagnosis.
Diagnosis, diagnosis.
Diagnosis, diagnosis, diagnosis. source of danger. Hazard, 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 hazard. Fire hazard, health hazard, eliminate hazard. Hazard, 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 hazard. 1545, rake, tool, or action to gather. Rake, 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 rake. Rake leaves, garden rake. Rake the ground. Rake, rake, rake. 1546, bow, large tree branch. Bow, 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 bow. Strong bow, climb the bow, cut the bow. 1540, exclusion, keeping out. Exclusion, 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 exclusion. Social exclusion, exclusion zone, exclusion of others. Exclusion, 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 exclusion. 1540, pain lesson to make smaller. Lesson, 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 lesson. Lessen the pain, lessen tension, lessen demand. Lesson, 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 lesson. 1520, pious, very religious. Pious, 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 pious. Pious believer, pious prayer. Seem pious. Pious, 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 pious. 1546, and lengthen to make longer. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. Lengthen the skirt, lengthen the time, lengthen a speech. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. 1561, affirm to state as true. Affirm, 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 affirm. Affirm belief, affirm the truth, affirm his innocence. Affirm, 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 affirm. 1560, full feminine, having qualities of a woman. Feminine, 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 feminine. Feminine style, feminine voice, feminine charm. Feminine, feminine, feminine. 1560, heart, fireplace or symbol of home. Heart, 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 heart. Sit by the heart, hearth and home. Clean the heart. Heart, 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 heart. 1564, expenditure, money spent, expenditure, 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 reduce expenditure, government expenditure, military expenditure, 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 1565, fascination, intense interest, fascination, 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 hold fascination, fascination with space, utter. Fascination, 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 fascination. 1560s, allied, connected or united, allied, 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 allied forces, closely allied, allied industries, allied, 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 allied. 1567, bachelor, unmarried man or degree holder. Bachelor, 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 bachelor. Eligible bachelor, bachelor degree. Lifelong bachelor, bachelor, bachelor. 1568, shawl, a piece of cloth worn over shoulders. Shawl, shawl, shawl. Wear a shawl, a shawl, wrap in a shawl. Shawl, 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 shawl. 1569, spoil to damage or overindulge. Spoil, 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 spoil. Spoil a child, spoil the moment. Food, spoil, spoil, spoils. 1568, confrontation, hostile meeting or clash. Confrontation, 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 confrontation. 1571, grumble to complain in a low voice. Grumble, 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 grumble. Grumble about work, grumble to himself. Constant grumble, 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 go. 1572, interaction, mutual action or influence. Interaction, 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 interaction. Social interaction, interaction between groups. Human interaction, 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 interacting. Sits near affectionate, showing love or fondness. Affectionate, 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 affectionate gesture, affectionate hug, be affectionate toward, affectionate towards, affectionate, 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 affectionate. Acting 16 temperament, personality traits. Temperament, 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 typing, 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 typing. Artistic temperament, a calm temperament, show temperament. Temperament, 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 typing, typing. 1575, pollute to make dirty or harmful. Pollute, 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 pollute. Pollute the river, air is polluted. Pollute the environment. Pollute, 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 pollute. 1576, bulky, large and hard to carry. Bulky, 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 bulky. Bulky package, bulky coat. Too bulky to store. Whoa.
bulky, 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 bulky.
Bulky, 50, hot novelty, new or unusual thing. Novelty, 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 novelty. I know. 1570 and litter, scattered waste. Litter, 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 litter. Pick up litter, litter the street. Litter problem, litter, 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 litter. 1569, brew to make tea, coffee or beer. Brew, 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 brew tea. Brew beer, a storm is brewing. Brew, 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 brew. 1564, to prepare. Brace, brace, brace yourself. Brace for impact, neck brace. Brace, 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 brace.
1581 velocity, rate of motion, velocity, 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 high velocity, velocity of sound, measure velocity. Velocity, 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 velocity. 1482, tow to drag or pull. Tow, 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 tow. A car, tow truck, get tow, tow, tow. 1583, aerospace, related to aircraft and space. Aerospace, 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 aerospace. Aerospace, aerostry, aerospace engineer, aerospace company. Aerospace, 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 aerospace. 1584, anguish, severe mental or physical pain.
Anguish, 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 anguish.
Crying anguish, anguish of loss, emotional anguish.
Anguish, 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 anguish.
15th thou, philosophical, calm or related to philosophy.
Philosophical,
Philosophical,
philosophical, philosophical,
philosophical discussion. Take a philosophical view.
philosophical question. Philosophical, philosophical.
1586, repel to drive away. Repel, 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 repel. Repel and attack, repel insects, repel advanced sets. Repel, 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 repel. 1587, comply to follow rules or requests.
Comply, 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 comply.
Comply with the law, fully comply, refuse to comply, 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 comply. 1580, habitat, living area for animals, plants.
Habitat, 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 habitat.
Natural habitat, protect habitat, loss of
Habitat, habitat, habitat.
1599, bribery, giving money for favors. Bribery, 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 bribery.
Mechanical bribery.
Charged with bribery, accused of bribery.
Bribery, 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 bribery.
1590, eruption bursting out.
Eruption, 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 eruption.
Volcanic eruption, sudden eruption.
Eruption of anger.
Eruption, 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 eruption. Unseen anyone, immigration. Leader one's country.
Immigration.
Immigration, immigration,
Immigration, immigration.
mass immigration, immigration rate, encourage immigration.
Immigration.
Immigration, immigration.
Immigration, immigration, immigration.
1599 to embroider, to decorate, no exaggerate, embroider. proportional, corresponding in size. Proportional response, proportional to size. 6 feet under, fragile, easily broken. Fragile blast, emotionally fragile. Handle with Existing civilian one, sanity, mental soundness.
Sanity, 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 sanity.
Regain sanity, question of sanity, loss of sanity.
Sanity, 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 sanity.
Sending new to nationwide across the entire country. Nationwide, 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 nationwide. Nationwide campaign, broadcast nationwide. Nationwide protest, nationwide, 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 nationwide. 6803, legacy, something left behind. Legacy, 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 legacy. Family legacy, cultural legacy. Leave a legacy, 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 legacy. Link 60, don't force shove, to push roughly.
Shove, 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 shove.
Shove 'em aside, give a shove, shove into the room.
Shove, 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 shove.
Wicks get it on 5, adjustable, capable of being changed. Adjustable, 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 adjustable. Adjustable chair, adjustable strap, height adjustable.
Adjustable, 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 adjustable.
60 to 6 disabled, having a physical or mental condition. Disabled, 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 disabled. Disabled access, mentally disabled, support disabled people. Disabled, 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 disabled. 1607 lure, to tempt or attract.
Lure, 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 lure.
Lure customers, lure with money, bait or lure.
Lure, 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 lure.
6 feet away, expanse, wide open area.
Expanse, 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 expanse.
Open expanse, vast expanse, expanse of land. Expanse, expanse, expanse. 6 feet 09, smuggle to move goods secretly. Smuggle, 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 smuggle. Smuggle drugs, smuggle across the border.
Caught smuggling, smuggling, smuggling.
16 teen endorsed to approve or support publicly. Endorse, 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 endorse. Endorse a candidate, endorse the policy, endorse social values, endorse, 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 endorse. 16 to 11 novice, a person new to something.
Novice, 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 novice.
Novice driver, a complete novice, novice at cooking.
Novice, 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 novice.
1612 deprivation, lack of something essential. Deprivation, 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 deprivation. Sleep deprivation, economic deprivation.
Suffer deprivation.
Deprivation, 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 deprivation. 1613 breach, breaking a rule or barrier. Breach, breach, breach. Breach of contract, security breach. Breach the wall. Breach, 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 breach. 1614 compelling, very persuasive or strong. Compelling, compelling, compelling. Compelling argument, compelling reason, compelling story.
Compelling, 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 compelling.
1614 conspicuous, easily seen or noticed. Conspicuous, 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 conspicuous change, conspicuous success, stand in a conspicuous place. Conspicuous, 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 conspicuous. 1616 baron, nobleman or powerful businessman.
Baron, 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 baron.
Oil baron, baron of industry, title of baron, 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 baron. 1617 trot, to run at a moderate pace. Trot, 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 trot. Trot around the field, trot the horse, break into a trot. Trot, 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 trot. 1608 supposedly as believed or claimed. Supposedly, 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 supposedly. Supposedly safe, supposedly true, supposedly from France.
Supposedly, 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 supposedly.
1619, mother-in-law, spouse's mother, mother-in-law, mother-in-law, mother-in-law. Visit mother-in-law, talk with my mother-in-law, mother-in-law's advice. Mother-in-law, 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 mother-in-law. This ain't steady, funny, frail, weak, and delicate, frail, 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 old man, frail health, frail bones. 1621, withhold to refuse to give. Withhold information, withhold consent, withhold payment.
Withhold, 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 withhold.
1622, affirmative expressing agreement or yes.
Affirmative, affirmative, affirmative.
Affirmative answer given, affirmative nod, affirmative response.
Affirmative, affirmative, affirmative.
1623, spouse, husband or wife.
Spouse, 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 spouse.
Married spouse, spouse visa, talk with my spouse.
Spouse, 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 spouse.
1624, consolidate to bring together or strengthen, consolidate.
Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate.
Consolidate companies, consolidate power, consolidate debt.
Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate.
1625, attic, top space in a house.
Attic, 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 attic.
Store in the attic, climb to the attic, dusty attic.
Attic, 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 attic.
Attic, attic, attic. 1626, hinge, joint that allows movement. Hinge, hinge, hinge. Door hinge, hinge squeaks, hinge of argument. Hinge, hinge, hinge. 1626, a quarter fixed share or target.
Quota, 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 quota.
Sales quota, reach the quota system, quota.
Quota, 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 quota.
1628, creed, set of beliefs.
Creed, 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 creed.
Religious creed, live by one's creed, moral creed.
Creed, 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 creed.
1629, endow to give a grant. Endow, 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 endow. Endow a university, endow with talent, endow a fund. Endow, 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 endow. 1630, stammer, speak with pauses.
Stammer, 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 stammer.
Stammer nervously, stammer a reply. Child with the stammer, 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 stammer. 16321, irrelevant. Not related, irrelevant, 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 irrelevant. Comment irrelevant to the topic. Deem irrelevant, 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 irrelevant.
Relevant, relevant, relevant.
1632, radiation energy from a source. Radiation, 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 radiation exposure, solar radiation, radiation therapy. Radiation, radiation, radiation. 1633, questionnaire, set of written questions.
Questionnaire, questionnaire, questionnaire.
Fill out a questionnaire, customer questionnaire, distribute questionnaire.
Questionnaire, questionnaire, questionnaire.
1634, realism, acceptance of facts.
Wait.
Artistic realism, political realism, approach with realism, 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 realism. 1635, bleak, cold or hopeless.
Bleak.
Bleak future, bleak landscape, bleak situation. 1630, diverse, harmful or opposing.
Adverse, 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 adverse.
Adverse effects, adverse conditions, adverse reaction.
Adverse, 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 adverse.
1637, theft, taken without permission.
Theft, theft, theft.
Car theft, charged with theft, prevent theft.
Theft, 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 theft.
1638, lunar, relating to the moon.
Luna, 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 luna.
Lunar surface, lunar calendar, lunar mission, lunar.
Luna, 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 luna.
1620, parent coalition, temporary alliance.
Coalition, coalition, coalition.
Form a coalition, coalition government, coalition partners.
Coalition, 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 coalition.
1640, barren, unable to produce. Barren, 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 barren land, barren tree, barren result. Barren, 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 barren. In 1745, one transparency, openness and clarity. Transparency, 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 transparency. Financial transparency, demand transparency. Transparency in government. Transparency, 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 transparency. 1642, afflict to cause pain or suffering. Afflict, 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 afflict the population. Afflicted by disease, afflict the poor.
Afflict, 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 afflict.
1643, bishop, high-ranking church official. Bishop, 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 bishop. Catholic bishop, appoint a bishop. Bishop's authority, bishop, 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 bishop. 16 clarity, being clear or easy to understand.
Clarity, 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 clarity.
Clarity, clarity. Clarity of speech, lack of clarity, bring clarity.
Clarity, 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 clarity.
1645, disability, physical or mental limitation. Disability, 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 disability. Physical disability. Disability benefit, learning disability. Disability, 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 disability. 1646, plea, request or legal statement. Make a plea for help, enter a plea. 1647, brink, edge or point of something. On the brink of war, brink of collapse, brink of success, brink.
16 for really compile, to collect into a list or book.
Compile, 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 compile.
Compile data, compile a report, compile a book.
Compile, 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 compile.
1640 on confinement, being kept inside.
Confinement, 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 confinement.
Solitary confinement, house confinement, during or confinement, 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 confinement. 1650 class, to hold tightly or fasten her.
Class, 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 class.
Class hand, silver class, class the bag shut.
Class, 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 class.
1640 fine entrepreneur, one who starts a business.
Entrepreneur, 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 entrepreneur. Young entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur. Entrepreneur spirit, entrepreneur, entrepreneur, entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
1642 encyclopedia, comprehensive reference word. Encyclopedia, 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 encyclopedia. Online encyclopedia, look up in the end. Encyclopedia, encyclopedia entry. Encyclopedia, 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 encyclopedia. 1643 compassion, feeling of pity and care. Compassion, passion, compassion, compassion. Show compassion, compassion for others. Act with compassion, 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 compassion. 16 faint store recipient, one who receives. Recipient, 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 recipient. Award recipient, recipient of the letter scholarship. Recipient, 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 recipient. 16 for the wide aspire to the hope to achieve. Aspire, aspire, aspire. Aspire to greatness, aspire to become. Aspire for success, aspire, aspire, aspire. 16 for your wise galaxy system of stars. Galaxy, 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 galaxy. Distant galaxy, galaxy of stars. The Milky Way galaxy. Galaxy, 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 galaxy. 1640 farts or to exhale loudly. Snore, 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 snore. Snort in laughter, snort in anger aloud. Snore, 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 snore. 1640 find a mid in the middle of amid the chaos, amid tears, amid applause. Amid. 16 feet 9 humidity, amount of moisture in air. Humidity, 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 humidity. High humidity. Measure humidity, humidity level. Humidity, 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 humidity. Relevance to the topic, lack of relevance. Cultural relevance, 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 relevance. 1661, judicial related to courts or justice. Judicial system, judicial authority, judicial review. 1662, extinct, no longer existing. Extinct species go extinct, almost extinct. 1663, clench, to hold tightly. Clench a fist, clench teeth, clench in anger. 1664, integrate to bring together. Integrate systems, integrate into society. Fully integrated. Integrate. 1665, coincidence, accidental occurrence. Coincidence. Pure coincidence, strange coincidence. Coincidence of it, coincidence. 16 seats wag to move back and forth. Wag. Wag a tail, wag a finger, dog wagging. Wag. 1667, conspire to plan secretly. Conspire to commit, conspire against, secretly. Conspire. Dough mixture for baking or slang for money. Need the dough, roll out the dough, make a lot of dough. 1669, congregation, group of people gathered. Congregation. Church congregation, address the congregation, gathering of the congregation. 1670, accumulation, gathering over time. Accumulation, 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 accumulation of wealth. Fat accumulation, gradual accumulation, 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 accumulation of relish to enjoy greatly. Relish, 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 relish the moment, eat with relish, relish the challenge. Relish, 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 relish. 1672, bully to intimidate or harass. Bully, 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 bully. School bully, bully someone online, stand up to a bully, 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 bully. 1673, migration, movement from one place to another. Migration, 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 migration. Bird migration, human migration, seasonal migration, 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 migration. 1607 tolls sprawl to spread out carelessly. Brawl, 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 brawl. Urban sprawl, sprawl on the sofa, sprawl of buildings. Brawl, 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 brawl. 1675 compress to press or squeeze. Compress, compress, compress. Compress a file, compress data, compress with pressure. Compress, 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 compress. 1617, 6 superstitious, believing in superstition. Superstitious, 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 superstitious belief, highly superstitious. Superstitious, 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 superstitious belief, highly superstitious. Superstitious, superstitious, superstitious. 1617, stage aging, becoming older. Aging, 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 aging. Signs of aging, aging population, aging skin. Aging, 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 aging. 1617, irrational, not logical or reasonable. Irrational, 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 irrational fear, irrational behavior, completely irrational. Irrational, 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 irrational. 1617, 1617, that stroll to walk slowly. Stroll, 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 stroll. Take a stroll. Evening stroll, stroll in the park, stroll, roll, roll. 1680, sculptor, artist who carves figures. Sculptor, 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 sculptor. Famous sculptor, stone sculptor. Meet the sculptor, 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 sculptor.
Why? 1281 congressional, related to Congress. Congressional, 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 congressional. Congressional meeting, congressional hearing, congressional district, congressional, 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 congressional. One city too prickly. Cover up with scars, easily irritated. Prickly, 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 prickly. Prickly glad, prickly feeling. Prickly mood. Prickly, 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 prickly. 1683 degradation. Process of declining. Degradation, 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 degradation. Environmental degradation. Whoa, degradation. Degradation of quality. Degradation, 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 nation, nation, nation. 1880 for authentic, real and true. Authentic, 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 authentic. Authentic experience, authentic signature, authentic itch. Authentic, 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 authentic. 85 and roll the side up. Enroll, 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 enroll. Yeah. Enroll in school, enroll my cards. Meet me enrolled students. Enroll, 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 enroll. 1686 transplant to multi-tissue again. Transplant, 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 transplant. Transplant, transplant a tree. I'm the go with transplant. Transplant, transplant, transplant. 1687 pickpocket. Sewing the seals on pockets. Pickpocket, pickpocket, pickpocket. Pickpocket, watch for pickpockets. Caught a pickpocket. Pickpocket, 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 jackpot. 1680 day contributor. On a whack or ills. Contributor, 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 contributor. Regular contributor, contributor to success. Need a contributor, 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 contributor. watching that scene. 1690 botany, study of brands. Study botany textbook, professor of botany. 116.99 scrub to clean by rubbing. Scrub the fawn, spot the heart, and it's scrub. 1692 epidemic, widespread disease. Epidemic. A flu epidemic of fear. Pandemic epidemic. 1693 audit, examination of accounts. Financial audit the company. Internal audit. 1694 equilibrium, state of awareness. Equilibrium. Male team, equilibrium. Emotional equilibrium. 1995 in danger to put at risk. Endangered species, endangered lives, endanger the planet. 1696 right, religious or formal act. Initiation right, funeral right, formal right. 1697 muddy, close friend or partner. Buddy. Travel with a buddy. 1690 ain't yearn to deeply desire. Yearn for peace, can't you see and for freedom? 1699 subside to become less than kin. Subside. Source subside. Pain subside. Flood water subside. Subside. 1600s need to move quietly. Sneak out, sneak into the room, sneak aside.
7-1 custody, controller care of someone. Custody. In police custody, child custody, gang custody. Commenting to retailer, a person, a business selling to consumers. Retailer. Online retailer network. Retailer sell products. Retailer. Learn, sailor, pre-pilgrim. One who journeys for religious reasons. Pilgrim. Religious pilgrim journey. Group of pilgrims. Pilgrim. 1704 volcanic, related to volcanoes. Volcanic eruption. Volcanic activity. Volcanic ash. Volcanic B. 1705 notify to inform officially. Notify the police. Notify by email. Notify in advance. Notify. Let's angidi 6 mo to cut grass. Mow the lawn. Mow regularly. Grass
grass needs mowing, mow, 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 mow. 1707 turmoil, a state of disorder, turmoil, 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 turmoil. Political turmoil, in turmoil, economic turmoil, 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 turmoil. 708 extravagant, spending excessively, extravagant, 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 extravagant lifestyle, extravagant gift, be extravagant with money, extravagant, 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 extravagant. 1709 anatomy, study of body structure, anatomy, study anatomy, human anatomy, anatomy, class anatomy, 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 anatomy. 17 array and ordered arrangement, array, 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 array. A wide array of options arrayed neatly, array, 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 array. 17 Evan gale, a very strong wind, gale, 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 gale. Force winds caught in a gale, howling gale, 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 gale. 1712 sniff, to inhale to detect scent, sniff, 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 sniff the air, sniff suspiciously, sniff of perfume, sniff, sniff, sniff. 17 likelihood, chance of something happening, likely, likelihood, high likelihood of rain, increase the likelihood, likelihood. 1714 voucher, document for discount or exchange. Voucher, 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 voucher. Meal voucher, gift voucher, redeem a voucher, 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 voucher. 17 foreign dynamics, forces causing change, dynamics, 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 dynamics. Family dynamics, market dynamics, social dynamics, 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 dynamics. 76 portfolio, collection of works or assets. Portfolio, 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 portfolio. Investment portfolio. This night portfolio, diverse portfolio, 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 portfolio. 17 gulp, to swallow quickly. Gulp, 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 gulp water. Gulp in fear, big gulp, 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 gulp. 1780 redundant, no longer needed. Redundant, 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 redundant. Redundant staff, redundant words, be made redundant, 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 redundant. 17 dining reinforcement, active strengthening reinforcement, reinforcement, reinforcement. Military enforcement, positive reinforcement, structural reinforcement, 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 reinforcement. 17 witty eloquence, fluent or persuasive speaking, eloquence, 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 eloquence. Speak with eloquence, natural eloquence, eloquence of the speech at eloquence, 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 eloquence.
1731 consistency, being steady and unchanging. Consistency, 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 consistency. Maintain consistency, lack of consistency. Consistency and quality. Consistency, 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 consistency. 1722 adolescent, teenager or relating to adolescence. Adolescent, 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 adolescent behavior. Adolescent behavior, adolescent child and adolescent phase. Adolescent, 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 adolescent. 17th one exotic, strikingly unusual. Exotic, 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 exotic. Exotic food, exotic animal, exotic destination. Exotic, exotic. 1724 vent, opening for air or emotional release. Vent, 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 vent frustration. Air vent, vent emotions. Vent, 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 vent. 1724 casualty, person injured or killed. Casualty, 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 casualty. Civilian casualty, war casualty, number of casualties. Casualty, casualty, casualty. 1720s plaintiff, person bringing a lawsuit. Plaintiff, plaintiff, plaintiff. Filed by the plaintiff, plaintiff's lawyer, plaintiff in the case. Plaintiff, 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 plaintiff. 1727 shareholder, person owning shares in a company. Shareholder, 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 shareholder. Major shareholder, shareholder meeting, rights of shareholder. Shareholder, 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 shareholder. 1748 oppressive, unjustly harsh or tyrannical. Oppressive, 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 oppressive. 1729 vulnerable, easily hurt or affected. Vulnerable, 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 vulnerable. Vulnerable to attack, emotionally vulnerable. Vulnerable group, vulnerable, 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 vulnerable. 1730 query, a question or request. Query, 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 query. Answer a query, submit a query, customer query. Query, 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 query. 1731 triumphant, having achieved victory. Triumphant, 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 triumphant. Triumphant smile, triumphant return. Triumphant tone, triumphant, triumphant, triumph tone. 1732 worship to honor as sacred. Worship, 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 worship
Worship at the temple, religious worship, worship the God. Worship, 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 worship. 1733, autonomy, self-governing freedom. Autonomy, 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 autonomy. Gain autonomy, personal autonomy, regional autonomy. Autonomy, 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 autonomy. 1734, integrated, combine to form a whole. Integrated, integrated, integrated. Integrated system, fully integrated. Integrated society. Integrated, 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 integrated. 1735, composite, made of various parts. Composite, 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 composite. Composite material, composite image, composite structure. Composite, 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 composite. 1736, dweller, one who lives in a place. Dweller, 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 dweller. City dweller, king dweller, apartment dweller. Dweller, 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 dweller. 1747, expired, I've come to an end. Expire, 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 expire. Passport expires, expires soon. Membership expires. Expire, 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 expire. 1730T, explicit, stated clearly and in detail. Explicit, 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 explicit instructions, explicit content. Make it explicit, 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 explicit. 1739, coherent, clear and logical. Coherent, 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 coherent. Coherent argument, coherent structure, coherent explanation. Coherent, 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 coherent. And 1720, alleged, said without proof. Alleged, 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 alleged.
Son of fully one, aristocratic, belonging to nobility. Aristocratic, 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 aristocratic. Aristocratic family, aristocratic title, aristocratic manner. Aristocratic, 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 aristocratic. Adescent for it, thrift, wise use of money. Thrift, 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 thrift. Record store, value, thrift store. Eastern only three collide to come together with force. Collide, 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 collide. Ties collide, collide with another object. Collide, 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 collide. Choose some 44, toxic, poisonous, or harmful. Toxic, 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 toxic. Toxic gas, toxic relationship. Toxic, 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 toxic. Some 45, designate to officially choose. Designate, 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 designate. Designate a leader, designate an area, designate a driver. Designate, designate, designate 6, hitch, minor problem or attach. Hitch, 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 hitch. Without a hitch, a small hitch, hitch a trailer. Hey! Hitch, 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 hitch. Eastern 47, strategic plan for advantage. Strategic, 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 strategic. Strategic decision, strategic location. Strategic, 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 strategic. Eastern 48, sneer. To show scorn. Sneer, 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 sneer. Sneer at someone, a cold sneer. Give a sneer. Sneer, 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 sneer. Eastern 49, prosecute to bring legal action. Prosecute, 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 prosecute. Prosecute a case, prosecute the offender. Decide to prosecute, 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 prosecute. 17, up the assault, violent physical or verbal attack. Assault, 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 assault charge, victim of assault, committed assault. Assault, 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 assault. Eastern 54, and dilemma, difficult choice between options. Dilemma, 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 dilemma. Moral dilemma, face a dilemma, classic dilemma. Dilemma, dilemma, dilemma. Eastern 42, subconscious below the level of awareness. Subconscious, subconscious mind, subconscious desire. In the subconscious, 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 subconscious. 43, equity, fair treatment or value in finance. Equity, 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 equity in property, invest in equity. Equity, equity, equity. Eastern 54, parable, simple story with a moral. Parable, 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 parable. Biblical parable, parable of wisdom, learn from a parable. Parable, parable, parable. Eastern 45, statute written law. Statute, 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 statute. State, statute, statute of limitation. Enact a statute, 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 statute. Symbolic stakes, entities, something that exists independently. Entity, entity, entity. Legal entity, business entity, separate entity. Entity, entity, entity. Section 48, accelerate to increase speed. Accelerate, 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 accelerate quickly, accelerate growth, accelerate the process. Accelerate, accelerate. 748, devastate to destroy completely. Devastate, 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 devastate. Devastate the town, emotionally devastated, natural disaster. Devastate, devastate. Eastern 49,
on, speculate to form a theory or invest.
Speculate, 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 speculate.
Speculate about the future. Speculate in stocks.
Wildly speculate, 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 speculate.
Speculate, speculate. 1760 agitation, state of anxiety or excitement.
Agitation, agitation, agitation.
Agitation, critical.
Agitation, agitation, agitation.
Grew
In a state of agitation. Agitation, agitation. Agitation.
1761 jurisdiction, legal power to govern. Jurisdiction, 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 jurisdiction. Under jurisdiction, legal jurisdiction. Within the jurisdiction, 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 jurisdiction. 1762 allegedly, as claimed without proof. Allegedly, 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 allegedly involved, allegedly guilty, allegedly stolen, allegedly, 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 allegedly. 1763 submerge to go underwater. Submerge, submerge, submerge. Submerge a town, submerge completely, submerge in water, submerge, 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 submerge. 1764 divinity, state of being divine. Divinity, 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 study divinity, believe in divinity, divinity of Christ.
Divinity, divinity, divinity of Christ. Divinity, divinity.
1765 artisans, 1765 artisans, skilled manual worker, artisan, 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 local artisan, artisan, bread, skilled artisan, 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 artisan.
Artisan, 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 artisan.
17 seat, parental, relating to a parent, parental, 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 parental love, parental control, parental responsibility, parental, 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 rental. 17:7 suffice to be enough, suffice, 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 suffice. That will suffice, suffice to say. One example suffices, suffice, 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 suffice. 768 burglary, illegal entry to steal. Burglary, 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 burglary. Report a burglary, convicted of burglary. Attempted burglary, 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 burglary. 1769 interact, to act with others. Interact,
Interact, interact, interact, interact.
interact with people. Interact naturally. Interact in class.
Interact, interact, interact.
1770 no ignition, act of setting on fire or starting.
Ignition, 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 ignition.
Car ignition, ignition switch, ignition key, ignition, 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 ignition.
Ignition, ignition, ignition.
1771 segment, part of something. Segment,
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 segment. Market segment, orange segment, segment the data. Segment,
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 segment.
segment. 1772 numb, without feeling or response. Numb, numb, numb. Numb with cold, emotionally numb. Feel numb, 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 numb. 1773 lurk, to stay hidden.
Lurk, 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 lurk.
Lurk in danger, lurk in the shadows, lurk online.
Lurk, 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 lurk.
1770 quote, quote, to repeat words exactly. Quote, 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 a passage, famous quote, quote from the book.
Quote, 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 quote.
1775 hemisphere, half of a sphere, hemisphere, 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 northern hemisphere, brain hemisphere, southern hemisphere, 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 hemisphere. 1776 warehouse, building for storing goods.
Warehouse, 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 warehouse. In a warehouse.
Large warehouse, warehouse manager, store in a
Warehouse, 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 warehouse.
17, considerate caring for others. Considerate, 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 considerate person, Reconsider it a mother. Consider it the hater. Consider it, consider it, reconsider it. 1778 expel to force out. Expel, 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 expel. Our student, expel, expel from the country. Expel, 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 expel. 1771 and now, the vice powered by wind. Windmill, windmill. Traditional windmill, windmill turns down to windmill. Windmill, 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 windmill. 1770 practitioner, one who practices a profession. Practitioner, 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 practitioner. Medical practitioner, legal practitioner, serious practitioner. Practitioner, 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 practitioner. 1781, depict to represent or show, depict the scene, depict the character accurately, depict. 1782, aesthetic, concerned with beauty, aesthetic value, aesthetic sense, aesthetic appeal, aesthetic. 1783, constraint, limitation or restriction, constraint, time constraint, budget constraint, under constraint. 1784, emit to send out, emit light, emit sound, emit gases, emit. 1785, swirl to move in circles, swirl. Swirl of smoke, leave swirl around, swirl. 1786, propel to drive forward, propel board, propel by engine, strongly propel. 1787, substantially to a large extent, substantially increase, substantially different and substantially complete, substantially. 88, correlation, a mutual relationship. Correlation, positive correlation, high correlation between A and B. Correlation. 1789, dignified to give honor, respect, dignify the ceremony, dignify with attention, dignify a position, dignify. 1790, treacherous, dangerously unstable or deceptive. Treacherous. 1791, faction, a small dissenting group. Faction. Political faction, split into factions, rival faction. 1792, entangle to twist a trap. Entangle. Entangling wires, entangling conflict, entangle relationship. Entangle. 1790, luminous, shining, glowing. Luminous.
Luminous stars, luminous day, luminous display. Luminous.
1794, suburban lady into the suburbs. Suburban carrier, suburban life, suburban chain. Suburban. 1799, fire rate, speak with enthusiasm. Ray. Reviews, rave about the movie Ray Fan. 1796, rap. Love Floyd's rock song. Extinguish a fire, extinguish hope, extinguish the light. Extinguish 1799, prologue, introductory section. Prologue. Prolonged isn't så prolog, need a prolog. Prolog, prolog, prolog. 1799, communion, spiritual sharing. Communion, 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 communion. Releases communion, communion with nature. The communion, 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 communion. Any longer bail, temporary release from jail. Post bail, release on bail. Post bail, release on bail, and I bail. Post bail, post bail.
Into the one rumble to make a deep heavy sound. Rumble, 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 rumble. Rumble of thunder. Stomach rumble, rumble in the distance. Rumble, 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 rumble. Eno 2 adolescence period between child and adulthood. Adolescence, adolescence, adolescence. During adolescence stage problems in adolescence. Adolescence, adolescence, adolescence. ATD3 vomit to eject contents of the stomach. Vomit, 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 vomit. Vomit, blood, feel like vomiting, violent vomiting. Vomit, 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 vomit. ATD4 obsessed to fill the mind excessively. Obsess, 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 obsess. Obsessed with appearance, obsessed all the details. Obsess about failure, obsess, 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 obsess. ATD5 gush to flow out suddenly. Gush, 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 gush. Blood gushed out, gush of emotion, water gushing, gush, 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 gush. ATD6 revenue, money earned by business or government. Revenue, 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 revenue. Tax revenue, company revenue, increased revenue, 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 revenue. ATD revenue, equivalent to take proper care. Negligent, 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 negligent. Negligent behavior, negligent in duty, negligent attitude, negligent, 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 negligent. ATD unify to bring together, unify, 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 unify nation, unify standards, efforts to unify, 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 unify. ATD medication, substance used to treat illness, medication, 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 medication. Take medication, prescribe medication, medication schedule, medication, 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 medication. ATD10 gauge to measure or estimate, gauge, 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 gauge. Gauge pressure, fuel gauge, gauge reaction, gauge, 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 gauge. 18 liver and slaughter to kill in large numbers or for meat, slaughter, 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 slaughter. Mass slaughter, slaughter animals, a scene of slaughter, 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 slaughter. 1812 traverse to travel across, traverse, 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 traverse. Traverse the desert, traverse a bridge, traverse a region, traverse, 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 traverse. 1813 tavern, a place that serves drinks, tavern, 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 tavern. Old tavern, Bill tavern, tavern owner, tavern, 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 tavern. 1814, rusty covered with rust, rusty, 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 rusty. Rusty bike, rusty skills, rusty metal, rusty, 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 rusty. 1840, agonize to suffer or worry intensely. Agonize, 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 agonize. Agonize over a decision. Agonize for days. Agonize motionless. Agonize, 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 agonize. 1915, presidency, office or term of a president. Presidency, 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 presidency. During his presidency term. Run for presidency. Presidency, presidency, presidency. 1816, hangover, a feeling after drinking. Hangover, 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 hangover. Bad hangover, sufferer, hangover. Hangover remedy. Hangover, 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 hangover. 1880, pharmacy, place to prepare and sell medicine. Pharmacy, 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 pharmacy. Go to the pharmacy, pharmacy school, pharmacy technician. Pharmacy, 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 pharmacy. 1819, wicket, small door or gate. Open the wicket, cricket, wicket, get cricket, wicket. 1820, rapture, state of intense joy, rapture, 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 rapture. In rapture, feel rapture, tears of rapture, 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 rapture. 1821, skid to slide uncontrollably, skid, 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 skid. Car skidded, skid on ice, skid mark, skid, 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 skid. 1822, assassinate to kill for political reason. Assassinate, 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 assassinate the leader. Attempt to assassinate, assassinate a president, assassinate, assassinate, assassinate. 1823, lust, strong sexual power craving. Lust, 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 lust. Overcome with lust, Lust for power, uncontrollable lust.
Lust, 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 lust.
1824 bound to exist in large numbers.
Abound, abound, abound.
Fish abound, opportunities abound, abound in nature.
Abound, abound, abound.
1825 prostitute, one who engages in sex for money. Prostitute, 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 prostitute. Woo, 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 woo. Hire a prostitute, prostitute oneself, high class prostitute.
Prostitute, 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 prostitute.
1820 slide contaminates and make dirty or impure.
Contaminate, contaminate.
Contaminate water, contaminate food, contaminated area.
Contaminate, contaminate, contaminate.
Contaminate and unstable, likely to change or fall. Unstable, 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 unstable. Unstable economy, emotionally unstable. Unstable structure and unstable, unstable, unstable. 1820 old arcade, very old or outdated.
Arcade, arcade, arcade.
Words, archaic system, archaic practice.
Arcade, arcade, arcade.
1829 durable, able to last a long time.
Durable, durable, durable.
Durable goods, durable material, highly durable.
Durable, durable, durable.
1830 retort to respond sharply, retort.
Retort, retort, retort.
Angrily, quick retort, witty retort, retort, retort.
Retort, retort, retort.
1821 gender, social or biological sex.
Gender, 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 gender.
Gender roles, gender equality, gender identity.
Gender, 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 gender.
1892 ongoing, still happening.
Ongoing, 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 ongoing.
Ongoing process, ongoing investigation, ongoing project.
Ongoing, ongoing, ongoing.
1833 sarcastic, using irony to mock.
Sarcastic, sarcastic, sarcastic.
Comment, make a sarcastic remark, sarcastic tone.
Sarcastic, sarcastic, sarcastic.
1831 disaster, sudden bad event, disaster.
Disaster, 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 disaster.
Natural disaster, economic disaster, disaster struck.
Disaster, 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 disaster.
1830 fad, temporary fashion or trend. Fad, fad, fad. Latest fad, short-lived fad, follow a fad. Fad, fad, fad. 1830 psychology, comparison showing similarity.
Analogy, analogy, analogy.
Draw an analogy, analogy between A and B. Use an analogy, 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 analogy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. 1830 semi-sorted of different kinds, assorted.
Assorted, assorted,
Assorted
assorted.
chocolates, assorted items, assorted colors.
Assorted, assorted, assorted.
1838 exalt to raise in rank or praise.
Exalt, exalt, exalt.
Exalt a hero, exalt the values, exalted by success.
Exalt, exalt.
1830 on integrity, honesty, and moral uprightness.
Integrity, integrity, integrity. Integrity, integrity, integrity. Integrity, integrity.
It's also on integrity, perfection, reintegrity, act with integrity.
Integrity, integrity,
Integrity, integrity, integrity, integrity. Woo, 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 woo. 1840 defective, imperfect or broken. Defective, 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 defective. Bar.
1845 one attainment, act of achieving. Attainment, 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 agitation on attainment. Attainment of goals, level of attainment. Attainment, attainment. 1842 shudder to shake with fear of cold. Shudder, 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 shudder. Shudder with fear of violence, shudder, shudder at the thought. Shudder, 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 shudder. 1843 cramp, sudden painful muscle contraction. Cramp, 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 cramp. Leg cramp, severe cramp, cramp during exercise. Cramp, 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 cramp. 1844 frantic, wild with emotion or urgency. Frantic, 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 frantic. Frantic search, frantic call, frantic effort. Frantic, 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 frantic. 1845 tickle to touch lightly cause it match a tickle. Tickle, 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 tickle. Someone a tickling sensation. Tickle under the chin. Tickle, 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 tickle. 1840 so delegation, accusation without proof. Allegation, 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 allegation. Deny the allegation, serious allegation. Making allegation, 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 allegation. 1847 delicacy, rarefying food or sensitivity. Delicacy, delicacy, delicacy. Local delicacy, handled with delicacy. Cultural delicacy, 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 delicacy. 1848 ecological, relating to ecology. Ecological, ecological, ecological balance, ecological system, ecological concern, ecological, ecological, eco-diatric to pull with force. Tug, 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 tug the rope, a gentle tug, tug of war. Tug, 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 tug. 1850 why ironic, opposite of what is expected. Ironic, 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 ironic twist, using ironic expression, ironic tone. Ironic, 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 ironic. 1845 lyric words of a song. Lyric, 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 lyric. Song lyrics, lyric poem, beautiful lyrics, lyric, 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 lyric. 85 and 2 rouge, red makeup for cheeks or lips. Rouge, 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 rouge. Apply rouge,
sulfur, yellow chemical element. Sulfur, 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 sulfur. Smell of sulfur, sulfur compound. Burning sulfur, 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 sulfur. 1854, ripple, small wave or ripple. Ripple, 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 ripple effect. Water ripples, ripples of laughter. Ripple, 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 ripple. B195 testimony, formal statement in court. Testimony, 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 testimony. Give testimony, witness testimony, sworn testimony, 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 testimony. 80 booty seed, receipt, a move bag. Receipt, 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 receipt. Receding hairline, water recedes. Recede into distance, recede, 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 recede. 80 footy and ascertain to find out or make sure. Ascertain, 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 ascertain. Ascertain the truth, ascertain the cause. Ascertain the facts, ascertain, 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 ascertain. 80 from the out, negligible, too small to be important. Negligible, 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 negligible effect. Get negligible amount, almost negligible, 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 negligible. 80 40 time compatible, able to work together. Compatible, 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 compatible devices. Mutually compatible, compatible with system. Compatible, 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 compatible. 80 40 time, not the original, original inhabitant. Aboriginal, 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 aboriginal. 1861, disdain to look down on. Disdain, 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 disdain. With disdain, utter disdain, disdain. The offer, disdain, disdain, disdain. 1862, finite, having limits, finite. Finite, 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 finite resources. Finite amount, life is finite, finite, finite. 1863, poach to illegally hunt or take. Poach, 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 poach animals. Poach staff, poached eggs, poach, poach. Poach, 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 poach. 1864, paraphrase, to restate in different words. Paraphrase, 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 paraphrase the sentence. Simple paraphrase, paraphrase for clarity. Paraphrase, paraphrase. 1865, blur, to make unclear. Blur, 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 blur. Blur the image, blurred vision. Memory is a blur, 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 blur. 1860, bitch, prophecy, statement about the future. Prophecy, 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 prophecy.
Future prophecy, prophecy fulfilled. Make a prophecy, 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 prophecy.
1867, hierarchy, system of ranks.
Hey, hierarchy, hierarchy, hierarchy.
Social hierarchy, corporate hierarchy, top of the hierarchy, hierarchy, hierarchy. 1868, decimal number based on 10. Decimal, 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 decimal point. Decimal system convert to decimal, decimal, decimal. 8269, part equals standard. Part, 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 part. On par with, below par, above par, 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 par. 1890, laptop, portable computer. Laptop, laptop, laptop. Open a laptop, carry a laptop. New laptop model, laptop, 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 laptop. 121, aviation, flying or aircraft. Aviation, 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 aviation industry. Aviation fuel, history of aviation. Aviation, aviation, aviation. 81, captivity, state of being confined. Captivity, captivity, captivity. Held in captivity. Years of captivity, escape captivity. Captivity, 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 captivity. 1C, only 3, sterile, free from germs or unable to reproduce. Sterile, 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 sterile. Sterile equipment, sterile and medically sterile. Sterile, 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 sterile. 8C74, breakthrough, significant development. Breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough. Scientific breakthrough, make a breakthrough, breakthrough idea. Breakthrough, 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 breakthrough. Pasted line transcript, written or printed copy. Transcript, transcript, transcript. Academic transcript, transcript to speech. Official transcript, transcript, transcript. One I take on 6 deodorant, product to prevent odor. Deodor, deodor, deodor. Use deodorant, spray deodorant. Roll on deodorant, deodorant, deodorant. Wanna rain, 7, desperation, state of despair. Desperation, 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 desperation. Act in desperation, feeling of desperation, out of desperation, desperation, desperation. In desperation, feeling of desperation, out of desperation, desperation, desperation. Feeling of desperation, out of desperation. Expert, 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 expert. 8T78, shrill, high pitch and sharp. Shrill, 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 shrill. Shrill voice, shrill sound, shrill cry. Shrill, 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 shrill. 8T79, contagious, spreadable from one to another. Contagious, 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 contagious disease. Highly contagious, contagious laughter. Contagious, 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 contagious. 18, 8, ambiguous, having multiple meanings. Ambiguous, ambiguous, ambiguous.
A person held for ransom or threat. Hostage, 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 hostage. Take a hostage, release the hostage. Hostage situation. Hostage, 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 hostage. 1882, facilitate. To make easier, facilitate, 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 facilitate. Communication, facilitate learning, facilitate the process. Facilitate, 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 facilitate. 1883, sovereign. Having full power of authority. Sovereign, 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 sovereign state. Sovereign nation, absolute sovereign. Sovereign, 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 sovereign. 1884, addiction, compulsion, need for something. Addiction, 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 addiction. Drug addiction, internet addiction. Struggle with addiction, 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 addiction. 1885, hitherto until this time. Hitherto, 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 hitherto. Hitherto unknown, hitherto unseen. Hitherto mentioned, hitherto, hitherto, hitherto. 1886, strangle to choke or suppress. Strangle, 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 strangle a victim. Strangle the economy, strangle the idea. Strangle, 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 strangle. 1887, maze, complex network of paths. Maze, 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 a maze of streets. Get lost in a maze, mental maze. Maze, 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 maze. 1888, quiver, to shake slightly. Quiver, 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 quiver. Quiver with fear, leaves quiver, a slight quiver. Quiver, 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 quiver. 1889, supervisor, person who oversees work. Supervisor, supervisor, supervisor. Supervisor, team supervisor. Under a supervisor, supervisor. 1890, conserve, to protect or save. Conserve, 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 conserve energy. Conserve nature, conserve water. Conserve, conserve, conserve. In 1891, nurture, to care for and encourage. Nurture, 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 nurture talent. Nurture children, emotional nurture. Nurture, 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 nurture. 1892, tilt, to move or cause to slant. Tilt, 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 tilt the chair. Tilt of the head, slightly tilted. Tilt, 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 tilt. 1893, tonic, refreshing or restorative substance. Tonic, 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 herbal tonic. Tonic for the soul. Take a tonic, 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 tonic. 1890, integration, combining parts into a whole. Integration, 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 racial integration, system integration, social integration, 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 integration. 1895, dissolution, ending or breaking apart. Dissolution, 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 dissolution of parliament, company, dissolution, dissolution of marriage. Dissolution, 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 dissolution. 1896, arrogance, overbearing pride. Arrogance, 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 arrogance. Show arrogance, arrogance of power. Act with arrogance, 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 arrogance. 1897, rotate, to turn around in axis. Rotate, 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 rotate the wheel. Rotate jobs, earth rotates. Rotate, 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 rotate. 1898, tribal, relating to a tribe. Tribal, 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 tribal customs. Tribal leader, tribal conflict. Tribal, 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 tribal. 1899, craze, short-lived enthusiasm. Craze, 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 craze. Fashion craze, new craze, craze for dancing. Craze, craze, craze. 1900, pier structure extending into water. Pier, 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 pier. Walk on the pier, fishing pier, wooden pier. Pier, 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 pier.
1901, relic, an object from the past. Relic, 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 relic. Relic, 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 relic. Ancient relic, religious relic. Relic of the past. Relic, 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 relic. 1902, aerial, related to the air. Aerial, 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 aerial. Aerial, aerial, aerial view. Aerial attack, aerial photography. Aerial, 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 aerial. 1903, juvenile, relating to young people. Juvenile, 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 juvenile crime. Juvenile behavior, juvenile detention. Juvenile, 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 juvenile. 1904, resolute, firm in purpose. Resolute, 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 resolute decision. Resolute attitude, resolute leader. Resolute, resolute, resolute. 1905, nourishment, food or sustenance. Nourishment, 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 proper nourishment, source of nourishment, lack of nourishment. Nourishment, 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 nourishment. 1 donor, one who gives. Donor, 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 blood donor, organ donor, generous donor. Donor, 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 donor. 1905, coup, sudden seizure of power. Coup, 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 military coup, successful coup, state
change it. Coop, 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 coop. 1908, underlying, basic or hidden. Underlying, 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 underlying cause, underlying issue, underlying message. Underlying, 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 underlying. 1909, humiliate to make someone feel ashamed. Humiliate, 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 humiliate. Humiliate in public, feel humiliated. Humiliate a rival, humiliate, 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 humiliate. Humiliate, humiliate, humiliate. 1910, rarity, something uncommon. Rarity, 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 great rarity, cultural rarity, a rarity in nature. Rarity, 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 rarity. 19, another rare, slightly red. Reddish, 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 reddish hair, reddish hue, reddish, 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 reddish. 1912, merge to come together. Merge, 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 merge. Nerds, two companies, traffic merge, merge smoothly. Merge, 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 merge. 1912, 1913, shrewd, astute and sharp. Shrewd, 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 shrewd investor, shrewd judgment, shrewd strategy. Shrewd, 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 shrewd. 1914, glaze to make glossy glaze, 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 glaze pottery, glazed eyes, sugar glaze, 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 glaze. 1914, Paris church district, parish, 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 priest, local parish, 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 parish. 1916, thereby, by that means, thereby, 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 increasing, thereby, improving, thereby, reducing, thereby, 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 thereby. 1917, unprecedented, never done before. Unprecedented, 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 unprecedented event. Unprecedented growth, unprecedented crisis. Unprecedented, 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 unprecedented validity, state of being valid. Validity, 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 validity. Test validity, question the validity. Legal validity, 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 validity. 1919, norm, standard of behavior, norm, 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 social norm, cultural norms, norm of conduct, norm, 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 norm. 1920, vendor, one who sells, vendor, 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 street vendor, software vendor, approved, vendor, 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 vendor.
1921, diabetes, disease with high blood sugar. Diabetes, 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 type 2 diabetes, diabetes treatment, diagnosed with diabetes, diabetes, diabetes. 1922, momentum, force gained by motion, momentum, 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 yeah, momentum, lose momentum. 19, momentum, 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 momentum. 1923, opt to make a choice, opt for change, opt to stay, opt. 1924, chunk, thick or large piece, chunk, 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 chunk of ice, chunk of text, large chunk, 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 chunk. 1925, secular, not spiritual or religious, secular, 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 secular society, secular education, secular values, secular, 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 secular. 1920, source manipulate to handle skillfully, manipulate, 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 manipulate data, manipulate a person, manipulate results, manipulate, manipulate, manipulate. 1920, sanction, penalty or approval, sanction, 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 economic sanctions, impose a sanction, give sanction. 1928, poke to push with something sharp, poke, 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 poke with the stick, poke someone, poke, 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 poke. 1929, immune, protected from disease or harm, immune, 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 immune system, immune to criticism, immune response, immune, 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 immune. 1930, remnant, small remaining part, remnant, 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 fabric remnant, remnants of war, only a remnant, 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 remnant. 1931, inventory, list of items or stock. Inventory, 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 check, inventory, inventory system, inventory, 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 inventory. 1922, grotesque, strangely distorted, grotesque, 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 grotesque image, grotesque creature, grotesque humor. 19
2023 discourse, formal talk or text discourse. Political discourse, academic discourse, engage in discourse. 19.3 19.4 reminder, something that calls recall. Reminder. Gentle reminder, daily reminder, email reminder. 19.20 verb, willingness, state of being ready to act. Willingness to help, show willingness, lack of willingness. 1936 verdict, legal or final decision. Verdict. Guilty verdict, reach a verdict, deliver a verdict. 19.40 nutrient, substance that provides nourishment. Nutrient. Essential nutrient, plant nutrients, nutrient rich food. 1940 syndrome, group of symptoms. Syndrome, Down syndrome, a rare syndrome, treatment for syndrome. 1929 squad, small organized group. Police squad, football squad leader. 1940 credibility, believability or trust. Credibility. Gain credibility, gap high credibility. Credibility. 1941 legislature, body that makes laws. Legislature. Pass through legislature, state legislature, legislature. 1942 collaboration, working the collaboration, team collaboration, international collaboration between artists, collaboration. 1943 respondent, person replying or defending. Respondent, legal respondent's opinion. Respondent. 1944 racism, discrimination by race. Racism. Fight racism, systemic racism in society. Racism. 1945 infrastructure, basic physical systems. Infrastructure. Transport infrastructure, digital infrastructure, build infrastructure. 1946 sovereignty, supreme power or authority. Sovereignty. National sovereignty over territory, assert sovereignty. 1947 behavior relating to behavioral science, behavioral problem, behavioral therapy, behavioral. 1948 sibling, brother or sister, sibling. Older sibling, rivalry, close sibling relationship, sibling. 1949 synonym, word with similar meaning. Synonym for happy, dictionary of synonyms. Find a synonym. 1950 shoelace, string for tying shoes. Tie shoelaces, loose shoelace, broken shoelaces. 1951 verify, to check the truth. Verify identity. Verify the result. Verify facts. Verify. 1952 gorge, narrow valley or to eat greedily. Gorge. Mount gorge on snacks. Deep gorge. 1953 cult, extreme religious or social group. Cult. Dangerous cult, following cult leader. Cult. 1954 1954 aptitude, natural ability, aptitude, 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 test music full aptitude, high aptitude, 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 aptitude. 1955 miser, one who hoards money, miser, 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 old miser, live like a miser, miser with wealth, miser, 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 miser. 1956 ramp, slope, surface for movement, ramp, 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 wheelchair ramp, loading ramp, builder ramp, 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 ramp. 1957 ore, rock with valuable metal, ore, iron ore, mine ore, rich in ore, iron 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 ore, iron. 1958 abbreviate to make shorter, abbreviate, 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 abbreviate a word, abbreviate name, abbreviate the title, abbreviate, 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 abbreviate. 1959 ingenuity, cleverness and inventiveness, ingenuity, 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 engineering, ingenuity, show ingenuity, full of ingenuity, 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 ingenuity. 1960 swap, to trade one thing for another, swap, 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 gift swap, seats up, book swap, 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 swap.
1961 afar, at or to a distance, afar, 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 from afar, see afar, watch from afar, 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 afar. 1961 analogous, comparable in certain respects, analogous, 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 analogous. 1963 a lot, to distribute or assign a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, time, a lot, resources, a lot, task, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. 1964 dissent, to disagree or oppose, dissent, 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 express dissent, political dissent, dissenting opinion, dissent, 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 dissent. 1965 diverge, to separate from a path, diverge, 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 diverge. 1966 distaste, strong dislike, distaste, 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 distaste for violence, feel distaste, express distaste, 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 distaste. 1967 overdone, openly, overt, 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 over racism, overt action, over conflict, overt, 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 overt. 1968 ordeal, difficult or painful experience, ordeal, 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 survive the ordeal, a long ordeal, 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 ordeal. 1969 crescent, moon shape curve, crescent, 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 moon a crescent shape, waxing crescent, 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 crescent. 1970 outnumber, to be greater in number, outnumber, 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 outnumber opponents, greatly outnumber, women outnumber men, outnumber, 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 outnumber. 1971 pact, formal agreement, pact, 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 sign a pact, peace pact, secret pact, 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 pact. 1972 consolation, comfort after loss, consolation, 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 seek consolation, words of consolation, a small consolation, 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 consolation. 1973 purge, to remove unwanted elements, purge, 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 purge the system, political purge, purge old files, purge, 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 purge. Her design for distortion, deformation, or misrepresentation, distortion, 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 distortion of facts, spatial distortion, 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 distortion. 1975 remorse, deep guilt or regret, remorse, 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 feel remorse, deep remorse, remorse for actions, remorse, 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 remorse. 1970 sympathy, lack of interest or emotion, apathy, 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 public apathy, emotional apathy, apathy towards politics, apathy, 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 apathy. 1970 Southern life, like real estate, life, like, 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 like statue, life like time, look life, 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 life. 19 stimulations, I just passing through. Public transit, in transit, transit system. Transit, transit, transit. 1979, great place, not loyal, not trustworthy. Faithless, 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 faithless. Faithless lover, faithless friend, got good faithlessness. Faithless, 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 faithless. 1980 enraged to make very angry. And rage someone with words. Night.
1981 ply to travel regularly or supply diligently. Ply, 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 ply. Route ply, trade boats ply the river. Ply, 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 ply. 1982 dogma set of beliefs laid down by authority. Dogma, 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 dogma. Liturgist dogma, challenge dogma, strict dogma. Dogma, 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 dogma. 1983 occupant person who resides or holds a position. Occupant, 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 occupant. Room occupant, previous occupant, sole occupant, 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 occupant. 1984 excerpt, short passage taken from a text. Excerpt, excerpt, excerpt. Read an excerpt, excerpt from a novel, excerpted paragraph. Excerpt, excerpt. 1985 erroneous, wrong or mistaken. Erroneous, 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 erroneous assumption, erroneous report. Factually erroneous, 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 erroneous. 1986 siege, military blockade of a place. Siege, 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 siege. Under siege, siege, warfare, lay siege to siege, 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 siege. 1987 adornment, decoration or embellishment. Adornment, 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 adornment. Hair adornment, simple adornment. Festive adornment, 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 adornment. 1980 notional, based on theory or idea. Notion, 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 notional. Notional value, notional idea, notional concept. Notion, 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 notional. 1989 militant, aggressively active. Militant, 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 militant. Militant group, militant protester, militant stance. Militant, 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 militant. 1980 bin, storage container. Bin, bin, bin. Trash bin, recycling bin, storage bin. Bin, 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 yep. 1991 inconceivable, unimaginable, or impossible. Impossible, inconceivable, 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 almost inconceivable, seem inconceivable, inconceivable situation, inconceivable, 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 inconceivable. 1992 bonfire, large open fire, outdoors fire, 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 bonfire, light a bonfire, bonfire night, huge bonfire, 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 bonfire. 1993 constable, British police officer, constable, 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 village constable, police constable, speak to a constable, 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 constable. 1994 gravestone, stone marker for a grave, gravestone, 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 carved gravestone, ancient gravestone, gravestone, ancient gravestone, gravestone. 1995 enmity, hostile or hateful feeling, enmity, 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 deep enmity, deal enmity, discriminal enmity, 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 enmity. 1996 chronic, long-lasting or constant, chronic, 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 chronic disease, chronic pain, chronic stress, chronic, 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 chronic. 97 forearm, part of the arm between elbow and wrist, forearm, forearm, forearm. Strengthen forearms, forearm muscles, injured the forearm, 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 forearm. 1998 interrogate who asked questions, formerly interrogate, 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 interrogate a suspect, interrogate a witness, interrogate carefully, interrogate, interrogate, interrogate. 9 exempt, free from obligation, exempt, 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 exempt from tax, exempt employee, exempt status, exempt, 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 exempt. 2000 monopolized to have exclusive control, monopolize, 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 monopolize the market, monopolize attention, attempt to monopolize, 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 monopolize.